Not everything that shouldn't exist is equally dangerous. The SCP Foundation contains thousands of anomalies, objects, entities, locations, and concepts that break the laws of physics, biology, and reality. Some of them are harmless curiosities. A coffee mug that never goes cold. A rubber duck that always ends up in your bathtub no matter where you leave it. Some of them are things that, if you fully understood what they were, you would never sleep again. And some of them, a very small number, are things the Foundation cannot contain, cannot stop, cannot even slow down. The difference between these categories is not just danger, it's understanding, it's control. It's the terrifying gap between we know what this does and we have no idea what this is. Today, you're going to live every classification level, from the bottom, where the coffee mug lives, to the top, where the Foundation has run out of words for what it's looking at. Before we go level by level, you need to understand what SCP classification actually measures. It does not measure how dangerous an SCP is to an individual person. It measures how difficult the SCP is to contain and how well the Foundation understands its behavior. A safe SCP might kill you instantly if you touch it, but if the Foundation knows exactly what it does, knows exactly how to contain it, and the containment never fails, it's safe class. A Keter SCP might never have hurt anyone, but if the Foundation doesn't fully understand it, can't reliably predict its behavior, and containment has failed before, it's Keter. The classification is about the Foundation's relationship with the anomaly, not the anomaly's relationship with the world. With that understood, let's begin at Level 1. Level 1. Safe class, the ones the Foundation understands. Safe does not mean harmless. Let's be completely clear about that. Safe means the Foundation knows exactly what the anomaly does, exactly what triggers it, and exactly how to prevent it from doing anything at all. The most famous safe class SCP is SCP-914 the Clockwork Machine. An enormous mechanical device that takes any input object and transforms it according to 5 settings, ranging from rough to fine. Put in a penny on rough setting, you get a pile of copper shavings. Put in a handgun on fine setting, you get a gun that functions better than any human gunsmith could make. Researchers have put in everything from sandwiches to computers to living animals to, in one documented case, a researcher's own hand. The hand incident is in the file. We will not tell you what setting it was on. We will tell you that the researcher is still alive. That is all we will tell you. Other safe class highlights. SCP-500, a pill bottle containing exactly 47 pills that cure any disease or injury completely. The Foundation has 23 left and has been unable to create more. And SCP-999, an orange gelatinous creature that wants nothing more than to make you happy, will tickle you until you laugh, and is considered by Foundation staff to be the best part of their job. Level 2. Euclid class, the ones the Foundation mostly understands. Euclid is where things get interesting. And by interesting, the Foundation means concerning. Euclid SCPs are contained, but the containment is imperfect, or the SCP's behavior is not fully predictable, or there are conditions under which the SCP acts in ways the Foundation cannot always anticipate. The most famous Euclid class SCP is SCP-173, the concrete statue, the one that cannot move while being directly observed. SCP-173 is classified Euclid not because it's poorly understood, the Foundation knows exactly what it does, but because humans blink. And the containment depends on humans not blinking. There is a 12-page Foundation protocol for managing blink schedules during SCP-173 containment checks. 12 pages. For blinking, SCP-106, the Old Man, is another Euclid, an elderly humanoid that phases through solid matter, drags victims into a pocket dimension it controls, and cannot be permanently contained by any physical means. The Foundation's containment for SCP-106 involves a young, healthy human being used as bait to lure it back into containment when it breaches. This is documented. It works. the Foundation does not discuss it more than necessary. SCP-2399, a malfunctioning destroyer located inside Jupiter, is also Euclid. It hasn't done anything yet. The keyword is yet. Level 3. Keter Class. The ones that keep the Foundation awake at night. Keter does not mean the most dangerous. It means the hardest to contain, the most likely to breach, the least understood, the ones where the Foundation's best efforts are still barely enough. SCP-682. The hard-to-destroy reptile. A large, extremely intelligent reptilian creature with one distinguishing characteristic: it cannot be killed. The Foundation has tried acid baths, high-powered munitions, nuclear weapons, and anomalous termination methods. SCP-682 has survived all of them and adapted each time. SCP-682 also hates humans, specifically, personally. It has expressed this hatred verbally on multiple occasions when given the ability to communicate. SCP-096, the Shy Guy, a pale humanoid that becomes violently agitated when anyone views its face, anywhere in the world, by any means. In one documented incident, a civilian photographed a landscape in rural Norway. SCP-096's face was visible in a 7-pixel area in the background. It reached Norway from its containment chamber in Site-17 in 4 hours. SCP-3999, arguably the most disturbing Keter entry, is an anomaly directly tied to a specific Foundation researcher. It cannot be understood without him present. It gets worse the more anyone tries to understand it. The Keter wing of any Foundation site has a specific atmospheric quality that researchers describe as the feeling of something being barely held back. You learn to stop noticing it. The veterans say that's when you should start worrying. Level 4. Thaumiel Class. The ones the Foundation uses. Thaumiel is the classification that most Foundation personnel never learn exists. While SAFE, Euclid, and Keter describe anomalies that need to be managed, Thaumiel describes anomalies that the Foundation has turned into tools. Anomalies used to contain other anomalies. The existence of Thaumiel SCPs is kept secret because if the public knew that the Foundation was not just containing anomalies but actively using them, the philosophical and political implications would be enormous. SCP-179. Sesuel Suep, the figure near the Sun, is Thaumiel, a humanoid entity orbiting near the Sun that provides warnings to the Foundation about incoming anomalous threats from outside the solar system. SCP-2000, the Deus Ex Machina, is possibly the most important Thaumiel SCP, a facility capable of rapidly reconstructing human civilization from scratch in the event of an XK-class end-of-world scenario. The Foundation has used SCP-2000 before. The documentation of how many times is itself classified. Thaumiel SCPs are the Foundation admitting something it rarely admits. That fighting impossible things sometimes requires becoming a little impossible yourself. Level 5. Neutralized, the ones that used to be a problem. Neutralized means the SCP no longer poses an anomalous threat. It has been destroyed, its anomalous properties have ceased, or it has simply stopped. This sounds like good news, and sometimes it is. SCP-1548, a neutron star that had developed sapience and hostility toward humanity, was neutralized through an extraordinarily complex Foundation operation involving multiple Thaumiel-class assets. SCP-1337, a ghost that haunted a specific stretch of highway, was neutralized when Foundation researchers identified what the entity wanted, provided it, and the haunting stopped permanently. But sometimes neutralized is the worst possible outcome. SCP-2399, the malfunctioning destroyer inside Jupiter, if it finishes repairing itself and acts, would be neutralized from the Foundation's perspective, because there would be no Foundation left to classify it. The neutralized classification is the Foundation acknowledging that anomalies, like everything else, have an end. The question is always whose end comes first. Level 6. Explained Class. the ones that turned out not to be anomalous at all. Explained means the Foundation investigated, contained, and studied something, and eventually determined that it has a perfectly ordinary scientific explanation. The existence of the explained class is the Foundation being honest with itself. Not everything mysterious is anomalous. Sometimes the Foundation is wrong. SCP-2747 began as an explained SCP, a phenomenon where stories simply cease to exist as if they had never been written. Initially, researchers believed this had a logical explanation. They were wrong. It was reclassified to Keter. The explained class also serves an important function, reminding Foundation researchers that their job is to find the truth, not to find anomalies. There are currently 847 explained class files in the Foundation archive. Each one represents a mystery that turned out to have an answer. In the Foundation's world, that's actually quite rare. Level 7. Esoteric classes, the ones the standard system cannot describe. Some SCPs are so unusual in their nature that standard classification becomes meaningless. The Foundation developed esoteric classifications for these edge cases. Himal class SCPs whose properties only manifest in extremely cold temperatures or in connection with cold-related phenomena. Rare, specific, and deeply unusual. Ticonderoga class SCPs that are considered impossible to neutralize or contain, but which pose no actual threat to humans or the Foundation. The perfect storm of concerning and harmless. Pending class SCPs currently under evaluation. The anomaly has been found, documented, and is being contained by provisional measures, but classification hasn't been determined yet. Decommissioned class SCPs that the Foundation has chosen to intentionally destroy despite being technically containable, because some things should not exist even safely. Enochian class anomalies connected to or influencing the Foundation itself. SCPs that seem to know about the Foundation, reference it, or appear specifically designed to interact with Foundation operations. The existence of so many esoteric classifications is the Foundation's acknowledgement that reality is more creative than any single taxonomy can capture. Level 8. Archon class, the ones the Foundation has decided not to contain. Archon is the philosophical opposite of Thaumiel. Where Thaumiel uses anomalies as tools, Archon recognizes anomalies that are better left uncontained, because containing them would cause more harm than letting them exist. The reasoning is not weakness, it's risk calculation at the highest level. Some SCPs are so integrated with normal reality that removing them would tear holes in the fabric of the world. Some Archon class SCPs are things that have always been there. Removing them would mean removing something that reality has already incorporated as part of itself. The most significant Archon class SCPs are classified at the O5 level. What they are, what they do, and why the Foundation chooses not to contain them is not information available at this clearance level. What we know is this. When the Foundation, an organization whose entire purpose is containment, decides that something should not be contained, that decision was not made lightly. The Archon class is the Foundation's wisdom expressed as restraint. Level 9. Apollyon class. The ones the Foundation cannot stop. Apollyon is not a classification the Foundation gives lightly. It means we have tried everything. We will keep trying. We do not expect to succeed. An Apollyon class SCP is an active, ongoing existential threat that the Foundation is fighting a losing battle to slow, delay, or mitigate. The Foundation has protocols for Apollyon scenarios. They are called delay protocols rather than containment protocols. The difference in language is significant. SCP-3999 in its full form approaches Apollyon criteria. SCP-2399, if it finishes repairing, would trigger Apollyon protocols immediately. The Foundation monitors both with dedicated teams that never go off shift. There is currently one fully active Apollyon class SCP in Foundation records. Its designation and nature are classified at a level that does not have a public name. What we know is that multiple Foundation departments are currently working on it. have been for years, and that the current estimate for the timeline of its effects reaching an irreversible threshold is classified. The Foundation's motto is secure, contain, protect. For an Apollyon class SCP, the best version of that they can achieve is delay. Delay, delay. Level 10. Anomalous. Unclassified. The ones the Foundation has no words for. Beyond all formal classification exists a small collection of SCP entries that the Foundation's Classification Committee has reviewed and returned with the same notation every time. Classification pending further understanding. These are not necessarily the most dangerous SCPs. They are the most alien, the most fundamentally outside human frameworks of understanding. SCP-3812, an entity that exists above narrative itself, that cannot be described without the description becoming inaccurate, that changes based on how it is conceptualized, approaches unclassified territory. SCP-001, the proposal, or whatever it actually is, sits in the zone beyond classification. Multiple proposed explanations exist. The Foundation has not confirmed which, if any, are correct. The unclassified category is the Foundation standing at the edge of its own understanding and looking into the dark beyond it. Everything the Foundation has ever contained, every safe class object, every Keter class breach, every Apollyon nightmare, was once unclassified. Every anomaly starts as something beyond understanding. The unclassified files are not a failure. They are the Foundation's acknowledgement that understanding is a process, not a destination. And somewhere, right now, something is happening that the Foundation will eventually have to file a report about. 10 classification levels. From a coffee mug that stays warm to an entity that is ending the world as we speak. The SCP Foundation's classification system is not just a filing system, it's a map of how much humanity understands about the things that share its reality. And the most honest thing about the system is this: most of what exists out there doesn't have a file yet. Next week on Shroudex. Explain. Your life at every rank of the Mongol warrior. Subscribe so you don't miss it.